What is up, guys? Welcome back to another video on this channel. And I'm sorry this is taking so long. I don't know why this took so long. Well, there's a bunch of rewrites, but anyways, we should get through the recap really fast since this video is going to be super long. So in the last few parts, I've had Bardock and Gine go with Goku to Earth, where Dragon Ball actually starts. They find Bulma and they go look for the Dragon Balls, in which Bardock uses the wish to bring Raditz to Earth, and then Raditz and Kakarot pretty much have a field day with the Red Ribbon Army. I've also had Bulma and Raditz kind of become a thing, just because I thought it'd be kind of cute. But anyways, after that, I had Raditz and Nappa come to Earth to challenge the Saiyans, and then they ultimately get defeated. Frieza hears about that there's other Saiyans that survived the explosion, and now he's coming to Earth. Okay, I do want to say this one thing before we actually start, is a lot of you guys brought up, why don't they use the Dragon Balls to make Frieza forget? And my rebuttal is, the Saiyans aren't like that, because they could have done that a lot of times throughout the series. For example, when Vegeta and Nappa were going to come to Earth, but instead they decided to wish Goku back to life, you know? Anyways, let's get started with this what if. After the 2 years have passed, everybody meets up at Mount Paozu. After not seeing each other for 2 years, Bardock and Kakarot praise Raditz on how strong he's gotten in the 2 years. Vegeta and Nappa aren't so happy that Raditz was able to get so strong. Raditz states that it's felt longer than 2 years for him and Gine. After this short interaction, both Kakarot and Raditz are pulled away by Chi-Chi and Bulma, you know, so they can have their little talk before they go off to fight. Meanwhile, Masaroshi and Tien go up to Bardock, asking what the plan is exactly, and Bardock tells them simply, kill Frieza. The remaining time is spent relaxing until they can sense Frieza's energy, and then they head off. As the team arrives, Frieza releases about 1,000 soldiers, the Ginyu Force, Zarbon, and Dodoria. However, Zarbon and Dodoria leave through the back of the ship. I don't see the humans having too much trouble with these soldiers, considering Tien can just blast them with the Tri-Beam and get rid of half of them. So we're just not gonna focus on them too much. While the humans focus on the grunts, the Saiyans will focus on the Ginyu Force, since they're gonna be a little bit more trouble. So first up is Gine, who is against Guldo, and that goes about as well as you think. Not much of a challenge for Gine. Second up is Nappa versus Bakhoum. So you get to see these two giant guys just slugging it out. The fight begins with Bakhoum kneeing Nappa right in the gut, and Nappa responding with his own knee to Bakhoum's gut. And it really just turns into a slugfest with them damaging each other so bad. Bakhoum loses his clothes, or at least just like in canon, and Nappa losing his clothes. And ultimately it ends with a beam clash between Nappa's breaker cannon versus Bakhoum's eraser gun. And of course a cannon's stronger than guns, so Nappa ultimately gets the edge over Bakhoum, using all of his energy, even some of his life energy. Nappa lays there exhausted, and Vegeta goes over to him, and he just kicks Nappa over to Chaozu so he can give him a senzu bean. After getting a Zenkai, Nappa is up and ready to watch the third match, which is Kakarot and Vegeta versus Jace and Burter. Despite their tag team abilities, Jace and Burter are no match for these two warriors. But to be fair, Jace and Burter do get a couple hits in, mainly due to the fact that Kakarot and Vegeta, even after 2 years, still don't work together well. Once Jace and Burter are killed, it's only Ginyu left. Bardock states he is the one who will fight Ginyu, but then Raditz steps up, telling his father he wants to fight him. Bardock obviously disagrees with this, but sensing the seriousness in Raditz's voice, he allows Raditz to do so, but he'll step in if needed. Ginyu laughs at Raditz's power level of 80,000. Raditz also laughs and tells him he's trained under 2 gods for the past 2 years and learned a new party track. Raditz begins to power up and yells out Kaioken. He then lunges at Ginyu, punching him square in the face, sending him flying. Raditz chases after him and does not line up on Ginyu. He's just letting him have it. But seeing that Raditz's power went up to 160,000, Ginyu still pulls off the body change, unfortunately for Raditz. This brings Raditz's power level, or I guess Ginyu Raditz's power level down to around 30,000, and considering everybody else's power, Ginyu is beaten down easily by Vegeta, and Vegeta is kinda happy about it. He gets to beat up Raditz. Raditz does eventually get back into his own body, and Ginyu, in a last-ditch effort, fires a blast at Vegeta. But Vegeta obviously dodges, and then the blast hits Tien, sending him flying. Bardock then immediately steps in, killing Ginyu. Raditz is then given a Senzu Bean and a neat Zenkai. As they look towards Frieza's ship, waiting for him to come out, a scream can be heard behind them. When the group turns, they see Yamcha, Krillin, and Roshi dead. Kakarot notices Chi-Chi trying to run away from Dodoria, who's holding a dead Chaozu. Dodoria gets ready to finish her off, but Kakarot steps right in the middle, and Zarbon tries to jump Kakarot, but Bardock then steps in, punching Zarbon right in the gut and finishing him off. Dodoria is finished off in a similar way to in canon, except just with baby Kakarot. After this, Frieza makes his grand entrance, and Chi-Chi is told to pretty much just leave, because like there's no way she can handle Frieza. Frieza pretty much lets her go, because like he has no real interest in her. He's after the 6 Saiyans standing right in front of him. Bardock then steps forward, telling Frieza that his tyranny ends today. Frieza laughs this off. Oh, a couple of Saiyans are gonna defeat moi? My power is more terrifying than you could ever imagine. Bardock tells him not to underestimate the power of the Saiyans. Vegeta then creates a power ball for Bardock to use. Frieza's a little unhappy as they gotta use that big monkey form. Bardock, now in his grade 8 state, is able to punch Frieza no problem. He sends the Galactic Emperor flying into a nearby mountain, even breaking his chair in the process. When Frieza comes back, he states that he's actually surprised. One of you monkeys is able to pose an actual threat, but savor this moment, monkey, as it won't last long. He then mentions he has another transformation, and this is even stronger than the one he's currently in. And of course, Bardock, being a Saiyan, lets him transform. Ready for round 2, monkey? As the fight begins, it is obvious that Frieza is not able to turn the tides. Meanwhile, Vegeta is letting everybody within earshot know that once Bardock is unable to fight, he, the prince, will be the one to finish off Frieza. Nappa's like right next to him, fully agreeing with everything that Vegeta says, you know, being a good little psychic. Gine, however, just goes over there and smacks them both on the back of their heads. You know, just being stupid. Bardock's obviously the strongest one here. We cut back to the fight between Bardock and Frieza, and Frieza announces that he has 2 more transformations that not even Bardock can beat. Bardock obviously lets him transform, just thinking that, oh, once he transforms, he'll kill him then. But Frieza does something unexpected. He skips his 3rd form and goes straight into his final form. And if you know Dragon Ball, you know this is bad news for Bardock. No matter how hard Bardock tries, he just cannot land a hit on Frieza. Frieza just pretty much starts to toy with Bardock, just like he did with Goku in the original timeline. Frieza does eventually get tired of toying with him, so he creates a supernova, stating that he'll give these Saiyans the same treatment he gave the other Saiyans. Pretty much kill him with a supernova. As the supernova begins to fall, Bardock tries to catch it and push it back. The supernova eventually engulfs the power ball that Vegeta had made, meaning that Bardock is slowly turning back to normal. Kami then contacts the other Saiyans to give Bardock more energy, while Gine and his sons are more happy to do so. However, Vegeta and Nappa are still pretty hesitant to do so. After all, Vegeta's the prince. He shouldn't be helping a low-class warrior. Raditz then tells him to stop being so stupid. This is a matter of life or death right now. If they don't do something now, this will be the end for the Saiyan race. As well as the humans, but, you know, who cares? And after a moment of hesitation, Vegeta and Nappa finally send their energy to Bardock. And with 5 Saiyans pouring their energy into one, Bardock Frieza detonates the supernova. This blast turns everything around them into rubble, all gone. Frieza, after a short while, lands on the ground, looking around to make sure no one survived. As he's about to leave, since, he didn't see anybody, Gine and the other Saiyans begin to rise out of the dirt. Kakarot, as soon as he gets up, rushes over to the crater and sees Bardock's body laying there motionless. Kakarot tries to wake up Bardock, but Nappa interrupts him with the fact that Frieza's still alive and he's walking towards them. Vegeta, thinking quickly, tries to create a power ball, but Frieza uses incredible speed to cut Vegeta's hand off, before he can actually make that power ball. He tells Vegeta that I kept you around thinking that you'd play nice, but clearly I was wrong, as Frieza proceeds to stab him through the heart, killing Vegeta. Frieza then turns attention to Nappa, goes over to him, grabs him by the neck, and says, "No more monkeys," as he proceeds to snap his neck. Raditz powers up to Kaioken times 20 and charges at Frieza, but is no use as Frieza just dodges Raditz and death beams him through the heart. Seeing this, Gine falls to her knees as she just watched her firstborn die right in front of her. Kakarot then steps in front of her, telling her not to worry, he'll protect her. Frieza, with a menacing smile, looks at them and says, "Oh, how cute." Frieza puts his right hand forward and uses his telekinetic powers to grab Kakarot. Frieza raises him into the air and causes Kakarot to explode, just like Krillin. Gine breaks down into tears as her entire family is effectively dead, the last survivor of the Saiyan race. She begins to pound the ground in anger. Gine looks up at Frieza as the sky turns dark and tells Frieza that this family will never give up. Frieza's face becomes serious again. Well, in that case, Saiyan woman, and Frieza begins to charge up a blast. However, before Frieza can finish her off, he is stopped by what sounds like someone calling his name. Frieza turns around and sees Bardock's body basically getting up. He wasn't dead, he was just passed out. Bardock tells him not to kill Gine or he'll regret it. And Frieza, being the dick he is, kills Gine. And this obviously causes Bardock to go Super Saiyan. Bardock, as a Super Saiyan, is able to actually beat down Frieza. I mean, considering that this is Frieza 10% power, I could see him doing that easily. The problem is, Frieza uses more than 10%. He goes up to 30%, giving Frieza the edge again. As Frieza's beat down on Super Saiyan Bardock continues, Bardock notices that the sky goes clear again. As Bardock and Frieza charge towards each other, Frieza is met with a giant fist. It's Kakarot, but he's not alone. Vegeta and Nappa also join the fight as great apes. These three give Bardock enough time to get a sensu bean and receive a good old plot boost, a Zenkai boost. He goes from a power level of 400,000 to around 2.5 million. Close to what Goku's was in the original, but not quite there. Bardock then rushes back in and tells the boys to stop and get away. He'll finish Frieza off. Vegeta's obviously hesitant, but eventually he complies. Now, I don't think Bardock at this point would let Frieza reach 100% of his actual power, because, he's been duped by that already like 4 times, so at most I can see Frieza using 70% of his actual power. This results in a pretty one-sided fight in Bardock's favor, ending with everybody else, as in Gine, Raditz, Kakarot, Vegeta, Nappa, even the humans jump in with their own attacks. All their attacks merge into one and pretty much vaporize Frieza on contact. Bardock, with a smile on his face, begins to fall to the floor and pass out, but he is caught midair by Raditz. With the battle now over, Gine walks over to Master Roshi and the rest of the humans, thanking them for their assistance. She does request one thing of Master Roshi though, that if he could give the other 2 Saiyans a place to live, and Roshi agrees, since they did help out. Then in typical Roshi fashion, he tries to get all pervy on her, but Gine just knocks him away. Kakarot also goes over to Vegeta and Nappa, thanking them for their help, and Vegeta's pretty much like, yeah, sure, whatever. One day, I will surpass you, Kakarot. You and Bardock. Krillin, overhearing this, tells the Saiyans that in 1 year there's gonna be a tournament, they should fight there. And after a moment of thinking, they both agree to do so. With that, everybody pretty much just goes home. Once Kakarot and his family arrive, they're greeted by Gohan, Bulma, and Chi-Chi, who celebrate the Saiyans' victory with a huge feast. Once Bardock wakes up, of course, because, you can't have him missing out. As for Vegeta and Nappa, they go off to live with Roshi, like I said before. But when they arrive, Vegeta finds someone very interesting, Launch. And yeah, before anyone says anything, yeah, I'm gonna keep Launch in here. Just replace what happened with Goku and Krillin with Yamcha and Krillin. 1 year later, the World Tournament takes place. Bardock and... because that'd be, too fair. Too unfair, actually. During this tournament, we still get the Yamcha versus Tien fight. But in this timeline, Tien ends up breaking both of Yamcha's legs. Tien tries to play this off that he got too carried away in the fight. After this, we get the Kakarot versus Vegeta fight. And in this fight, I'd say Kakarot would win, thanks to him training with Bardock more often. I mean, Vegeta still does, but Kakarot's pretty much with him all day. But Vegeta does not go down easy. He ain't no chump. He actually puts up a fight against Kakarot. The final match in this tournament would be Kakarot versus Raditz. But during the fight, the sky goes dark, which stops the fight momentarily. Tien tells the Saiyans that, they can continue their fight. He'll go check on the Dragon Balls, make sure no one's, misusing them or anything. Raditz and Kakarot continue their fight, but unfortunately, Kakarot would lose this fight thanks to Raditz knowing the Kaioken in this timeline. Once Tien gets to Mount Pazu, he finds Grandpa Gohan motionless, dead on the floor. He's actually dead, not passed out or anything. A bunch of green men stand over Gohan as one of them makes a wish to the Dragon Balls and then proceeds to kill Shenron. And this is where I'm gonna be leaving it off. Okay, I know you guys are gonna hate me, but we're gonna do a time skip all the way to when the Android saga start, because I don't think there's much to do within that big ass time period unless you guys want me to add in the movies, so they have more to do. But for now, that's it. I'll probably explain what happens in that time skip in a part 4.5 because this video's already been going on for too long. Anyways, remember all that YouTube stuff, like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys later.